So where do we stand in all that scheme? Well, we think you have to be intelligently attractive. So we believe there's something called the SOI, the statement of intent. That's when you tell somebody you're interested in them, sexually interested in them. We believe that's like on a slider, right? It goes back and forth. So we believe there's a time and a place to tell somebody you're interested in them. Okay, we call that the SOI, statement of intention. So we believe in telling someone you find them attractive. But we believe you do that when you find something unique and compelling about the other person. So there's a few skills that we teach. One of the major skills is making someone comfortable enough to put their real self out there. And when you learn their real self, then being able to show sexual interest in them specifically. Does that make sense? Okay. So, how do we do that? We tell them that we find them sexy. And we tell them we find them attractive. I had a client last year, who was a phone coaching guy, who was a really good salsa dancer. So what he would do is he would meet women at salsa dancing. He was such a good dancer that he would wait for women to come in the door who didn't know how to dance, who were coming to learn how to dance, women by themselves. And when they'd come in, he would kind of go out and he'd pick them up and say, hey, let me show you a few moves. He would dance them around, show them how to dance. They would find that really cool and attractive. They'd say, hey, after a couple dances, he'd say, let's go sit down over here on these couches and get to know each other better. So he would sit them down, and then he would have a conversation with them. Blah, 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 conversation with them. They'd say, hey, this is fun. Let me get your number. We'll hang out sometime. Well, this system that they had worked flawlessly. And every weekend, you literally get 20 phone numbers. And I asked him, I said, well, what's the problem? He said, well, I've got 20 phone numbers, but I've not had sex once this year. Because when I call the girls up, when I try to arrange a date, they would always flake him. Right? They'd flake him. And I said, the reason they flake him is because they don't know what you want. The biggest complaint I get from women, and I get emails from women all the time, is not that guys are hitting on them, they don't like guys. The biggest complaint I get from women is that guys won't tell us what the fuck they want. Does he want me to be his friend? Does he want to just date? Does he just want to hang out? Or is he interested in something sexual or romantic? Like, tell us, for God's sakes, what you want. So I said to my client, I said, look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do the dancing thing. That's cool. I want you to do the sit down on the couch thing. That's cool. But then once you sit on the couch, I want you to tell her that you are interested in her in a sexual way. I want you to tell her that you find her sexy. He's like, I don't know if I can do that. What do I say? I said, look. To me, a woman coming to a strange bar and dancing with strangers and trying something she's never tried before takes courage. All those women are courageous. Once you sit down, you say, look, explain that to her. You say, you've done something that most people never do. I find that courage that you have very sexy. Do that first and then get her phone number. So I talked to him about a month later after that. I said, look, how's it going? He said, it's going good, except I don't get nearly as many phone numbers as I used to get. I get like half the amount of phone numbers. But, he said, been laid 3 times. I think that's pretty good. Sometimes we're afraid to show our interest. I believe it is a good thing to show your interest, as long as it's based on someone's unique, compelling qualities. Right? So your job is to find those qualities, pull them out of someone, and once they're out, you've got to say, hey, I appreciate those qualities.